Nancy Fox wanted to give you part two of citizens' rights violated, or just more details. So I studied real estate since my 20s, got my license in 99 at Fred Stanford Real Estate School. I started doing real estate 6 months before my ex-husband got legally separated, January 2000, all assets split. We got a community property share out of the house at that time and signed off the property. Then, my mom had always planned to live with my daughters and I, and every time she came over, said, "Where's my bedroom going to be?" She was a one-story house, so our bedroom downstairs. So I always planned to sell the house for my mom to move in her old age, and started fixing it up and planning to sell it to buy one-story. And I paid all the bills alone as a single mom, working hard as a real estate agent, and I was like a full-time mom, driving my kids to and from school, and only worked selling houses when my daughters were busy at school or activities, horseback riding, ballet. I had show houses around their schedule, so I was always home with them and drove them to and from school. And so I fixed up Chandler Drive, refinanced it in 2005, again paid the mortgage alone and taxes and Gardner, put a roof on with an escrow check as a single mom. And it was at 4 or 5 a.m. often, emailing houses, working. I get 3 hours of work done before my daughters got out of bed for school. And that's how I did it, and that's how I picked them up at school. Is I got 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours, or an hour at least, probably usually 4 or 5 a.m. I was up working, and they'd be up at 7, so I'd get a couple, 2 or 3 hours in before they got up, and that way my day was shorter. And it was all planned out. The minute I dropped them off at school, I'd run and sell houses. So I planned to buy one story for my mom to move in, and I was shopping for a house for 2 years, made several offers, and found Riverfront Drive, $1 million house in a $2 million neighborhood, and said, that's the house, it's low maintenance, they're my daughter's friends, they are real estate customers, and it was more convenient, saved time for a single mom selling houses to be right there, right 5 minutes away from everything. So that's the house and that I bought in 2005, and I bought it with my money, my equity, from Chandler Drive. Bought it with a swing loan, and then I put about $80,000 or so into the house, or $50,000 in, before we moved in. So I wanted it all done, and I wanted to hurry up, get it done, so I could be working, and so it wouldn't be messy, doing it while we living there. And which I learned from a lot of my real estate customers. They do floors and paint everything before you move in. Then you're not living with a mess. So fixed up the house before we moved in with my money, and that was my escrow check money, my real estate escrows, and so was the deposit, and it was my money, and I fixed it up quickly, and I also lost weight, several sizes, back to my normal size 4 that I still am, thank God, and my size from my 20s. Size 4, I became again, and so I bought a new wardrobe also in 2005, I lost weight. Fixed up the house real quick, so it'd be all done, so we could live in it. And then I sold 7 houses, by the way, in 2005, and planned for my mom to live there with us. And then she was diagnosed with memory loss in January 2008. And I was driving back and forth to Sherman Oaks and lost time at work 2 days a week. And Jessica got out at noon, and I was driving her to meetings, and the market slowed from the loan crisis, and listings took longer to sell. So outside circumstances affected my income. The money my mother had loaned me and offered me, by the way, at the end of 2007, fall 2007, that money I borrowed in 2008 to pay the bills. And that's because I lost 2 days a week at work. I was driving my daughter to meetings. She got out of school at noon. And so I didn't have a block of time to sell houses and age. When stalkers came in 2008, the market slowed, and listings took a year to sell instead of a month, or 3 days. There were multiple offers for 3 months. So the money was all in the pipeline, I call it, and I was farming the trails where we live, and everywhere else. I'm all referral real estate business, and mostly my daughter's friends' parents. A lot of them were my real estate customers, and all referral word of mouth, and that was my business. And I did advertise, invest money in their schools to advertise also. And so I had a listing for $1.8 million. I would have made $50,000 on it in 2009 when I was free and set up. So the money I borrowed from my mom that she offered me, because she didn't want me to sell the house, I said I might have to sell it, buy a smaller house. The market's low. No, I don't want you to sell it. She said, I'll loan you money. So I borrowed the money with the intent to build a guest unit for my mom, to convert the garage and into a mother-in-law quarters, and then add a garage to make it, to code. And that was why I borrowed the money. And to consolidate bills, and I used 10 grand of it to fix up the house or to refi it to get the payment lower. So it would escalate. So it was to consolidate bills and paid off my mom's credit card money I borrowed from her for advertising. She always helped me as a single mom, and then I always wrote her post-dated check and paid her back on Chandler. And suddenly, I couldn't pay her back at this time. I didn't get the refi done, and then she got dementia, and I lost 2 days a week at work. And the money I planned to build a guest unit for her with, I ended up using it for bills in 2008. And so that's the story of the money. And then she was going to move in, and in 2009, I said, oh well, she'll live in the office instead. Figured out some closets in the hallway, a big bathroom right next to it. She'll be right across the hall from me, and I said, oh well, she'll just live in the house. And I won't build a guest unit because I can't right now. Do it later. But I said she's better in the house, right with us. Or I'll give her the master bedroom, which I called and told her she could have the master. So I moved my office into the bedroom in 2009 with the intent for her to do a transition and to start moving in the house or staying there 1 day a week to get used to it and see how she adjusted to it. And then I was gonna carpet and paint her house, Ranchito, lease it for $2,800 a month to make her $100 grand for 3 years. And then in 2009, right at this time, when I was about to do this transition of her moving in and leasing her house, and then Jessica was going to be driving, and pretty soon Hannah would be, and then I'd have more time to, be selling houses and double my income to $250 grand was my plan, or $15 grand a month was my goal at that time, 2009. And I had many listings, always had 3 listings in the LA Times. And right at the same time, my brother and sister's landlord being horribly. And my brother lied to the sheriff, was suicidal, I never did anything. And my sister lied, I was making a profit then, I never paid anything. So I called some friends from Farmers Conspiracy. They framed me. My mother stole some money at the same time. And I wrote sign a paper that my sister is trustee for Denise Fox. Trustee of what? I'm the first trustee in the living trust, individual trust, by the way, will. And she the second, Linda the third. With dementia, my mom signed a paper, and she was diagnosed with dementia in January 2008. Her doctor sent a letter to the Department of Motor Vehicles to take her license away. So if that paper is bogus, I'm the first trustee for Denise, and her house was in the living trust will. And I'm the first trustee for trustee. And so they sold her house to the city, and I don't know how they did, but it was $300,000 anyway. My mom always talked about our house. At the same time, they had her sign off on the loan on my house with memory loss. But she went on the loan to Riverfront Drive, our 1-story house. I bought it with my money. She went on the loan. She offered to. She said, I want to go on the house with you. Fine. She said, and she was going to move in, and she had more assets and a better FICO score, and it saved me $300 a month. So they had her sign off on the title, and on the deed, they had Denise Fox sign off the house, and then it went into foreclosure. So she signed off on my house with memory loss, and signed a trustee paper for Linda Fox with memory loss. And that trustee of what, it doesn't say. Not notarized, nothing. Then I get something in the mail that my sister, successor of Denise, of the living trust or something, like she owns all of her house's money and her property and her animals, and how can you be a successor of a will? I'm the first trustee of my mom's will, not my sister. So all of this stuff goes on, and they took all her assets to Mammoth. So I couldn't work with the bank. 2009, I backed the bailout plan the whole time. and slandered me, and took my mom's will and money, and took her assets so I couldn't work with the bank on my house. I sent a million letters everywhere, fair housing, Justice Department, White House, everything, and also about my mom's senior citizens' rights violated everywhere, whatever it said, whatever department that was called in the White House, to save my house. And it didn't go to foreclosure for many years. I was deceived because of all my many letters, and victimizing, slandering, railroading, framing it happened to me. At the same time, my car engine had blown out in 2009, and they hid my mom's car license plate, disconnected it. She doesn't have a license, so I couldn't borrow it. And I needed to borrow the car to sell real estate to drive my kids around. So they ruined my livelihood, made me very stuck. And my child support even stopped. My ex owed me $120 grand. He didn't pay child support on Jennifer Drive. Occasional couple $100 check. I paid the bills alone. And so I'm just explaining how my citizens' rights are violated. So are my mother's. She's trying to move to River Farm Drive with me and my daughter. I'm applying on college board for Jessica's college money at this time when they slandered me so horribly. And they made me so stuck I couldn't sell real estate. So my house foreclosed because my mom signed off illegally, because I'm not getting any mail and for years. I have status and I don't get my business mail. Meeting for God DBA, and a group of people lied there on my PayPal. It's connected to my WordPress. That's my Meeting for God DBA project business. That's my Saint Friday business. And I've sent my WordPress around the world to raise money to stop traffic. And somebody lied there on my PayPal email address. And my citizens' rights have been violated. I've been so railroaded. I'm so broken stuck for 5 years. I don't have a laptop. I don't have money to repair it. And I make $70 grand a month as a realtor. And I had a huge 10-year farm and many listings lined up. And I would have made over $1 billion money in 2009 if they had not set me up.